Welcome back, humans! You know what day it is. My name is Jaime, giving you exclusive events on headlines that you didn't even know you needed. And with that said, let's get on with it. So, man, I think they really got it out for this guy, don't they? They are really got it out for this man. And, I guess the FBI, they were there, raided his house and shit out in Florida. How you say that place? Largo? Or Key Largo, Me Largo. I forget how the song goes. But anyways, yeah, so they went in there full throttle fucking. I guess they were in there for like almost 10 hours, like 9 hours or some shit, like a whole work shift, just looking for some concealed documents. I guess there was some concealed documents. I wonder what these concealed documents are. Trump was probably like, nobody keeps documents like better than me. Especially concealed ones. So then the feds were like, oh, we got to go get his ass. Because, he brags all the time. He's like, nobody can keep concealed documents better than I can. That's my horrible Trump, but whatever. So I guess they were going in there looking, but they never said anything what they found yet. And I guess they confiscated a cell phone, I think. And they were looking for some files. And I guess he turned some shit in back in February, like when you were supposed to, I guess. Or I don't know if it was the deadline or whatever. But I wonder if they found anything. But they went in there, I guess they went into some safes and a lot of stuff in there, and they were in there for a long time looking for whatever. I wonder what they were looking for. And what did they find? Because if they didn't find anything, that means they wasted a bunch of our taxpayers' money on something that, that was some bullshit, I guess. So, like, whatever the tip was or whatever gave them the, what reason to go over there and go do it, I don't know why. But they got a warrant really quick, and they shot over there. But I feel like... while they were showing us this, I think, all these crooked politicians were making some shady moves. Like Pelosi went to China, and she was doing some things, which I'm going to talk about later in this episode. But, yeah, so, you got fucking our own president. Like, I think he's like the first president that probably needed subtitles, right? When you hear him talking to TV, like imagine being the, sign language person, the person who does, I forget, I don't know what they're called. Sorry for the wrong name or whatever, the wrong title. But when you do the sign language for someone who speaks and they hire you for that, it's probably really hard for you to do it for Biden when he's like, yeah, like you probably can see the teleprompter better and you probably know what the word is. And so you're doing it, or you're looking at him going, put your Polaxoid or Polaroid cameras. Or whatever, chocolate chip cookie ice cream. He fucking, what the hell? Like, I think he's the only one that needed subtitles for real. I think he's the only one time. At what point do you just put, like, either subtitles on the bottom of the screen for us, or you just turn the fucking the teleprompter around and let us fucking see the shit? Like, just do that for a change. That way we can fucking just understand what's happening. We can understand what's happening sometimes when he's talking, because when he's just sitting there trying to, man, it's difficult watching this guy talk. It was difficult listening to the other guy talk because he just said crazy shit. This dude can't even get the words out to say crazy shit. That's the problem. And the people that defend him are wild. I think they're all old. I think. No offense, old people that defend him. But I think it's because like they were like, oh yeah, he fell off the bike, but let me see you ride at 10 speed at his age. I wouldn't, because I'd probably fall and hurt myself. Because I wouldn't do that. I would already know my lane. Okay, I was like, yeah, I could probably still ride a bike. But, the getting off and on thing after I sat down and got relaxed for a while. Because, like, I know when I get older, when I sit down and relax, like, I sit down and relax. And I know it's like if I can, like, as I get older, it's probably going to get a little more, intense relaxation. But, like, while we were watching this guy get raided, there's some shit going on in court cases, man. Like, these guys are trying to fucking, pull shit under the rug when they're like showing that our president, who was the former vice president, also he was a vice president for Obama, was withholding like our taxpayers' money, like trying to like bribe or something, or some kind of like stronghold with our money over a Ukraine deal, I guess back in 2016 or some shit. And this shit was going on like while they're over there raiding fucking Trump for whatever the fuck they're looking for, these concealed documents. Well, this dude's got the documents like right in the motherfucking open, So I got a little clip, and I don't give a fuck. I'm playing the clip if somebody's gonna bitch about it. Anyways, especially YouTube's ass. Listen to this.
You understand what quid pro quo is, correct? I do. You understand what asking for something in exchange for something actually means, correct? I do. You know about the conversation of Mr. Biden when he asked and he said, I'm not going to give you the $1 billion. You know about that conversation, correct? You want me to read it to you or do you know it?
1 second. Are you talking about in 2015?
No, I'm talking about the one from the national, where he did the...
He's like, no.
I'll read it to you since you're having trouble.
I'll read it since you can't get it.
Ukraine, convincing our team, our leaders, convincing them that we should provide for loan guarantees. I went, I'm not going to. Or we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have authority. You have no authority. You're not the president. The president said, I said, call him.
Come on, man.
I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm getting ready to be leaving here, and I think about 6 hours. I looked at them and said, I'm leaving here in 6 hours. If the prosecutor is not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch, he got fired. Did he ask for something, request something, and hold something of value?
He did. George Kent testified that
I think I'll do what you did. And George Kent testified. I'm asking about not George Kent. I'm asking about this.
Right, but it's
arrest, or he actually did this. Which is it?
He did it pursuant to U.S. official policy.
So he did it in withholding actual dollars, actual thing, holding this out there. So Joe Biden, of everybody that we discussed about, he's the only one that's done a quid pro quo. He's the only one that's used taxpayer dollars to actually threaten a foreign government.
Okay, now, humans. He said he's the only one who's ever done it. But we're not going to hear about this on our local news. All we're hearing about is about the raid and what are they going to find. Find out till 11 o'clock. Like, we'll come on at 6 to 5 o'clock and then find out at 11 what we find. And then they still didn't find shit at 11 o'clock. They'd be like, find out in the morning at 6 again in the a.m. And then we'll fucking tell you why we're doing the fucking bit before the weather. So we'll be sitting here waiting to see what the fuck they're going to find. If they find anything, come on, you got to find something you was in there for that fucking 9 hours. They better have found some shit, or they better have planted some shit because that's our tax money going in that whole fucking raid. I wonder how much that cost, all those people. How many agents were there? What technology they used? You know what they charge for equipment and all that shit? They have them fucking Ghostbuster meters and shit, like fucking looking for fingerprints and shit. But yeah, show us the teleprompter. Let us understand this fucked up shit that's happening. But I'm just saying, we got to listen to the raid to avoid what's really happening over here when this is happening. My man was withholding our money, like bribing somebody. The dude, I don't know if it was the guy that was in that dance video that you see on TikTok all the time. Like they say that was the Ukraine president who's in this boy band. And he was like in his high heels, like bondage suit, doing dances and shit. I mean, that's your thing, whatever. But I don't know if that's real or not, but that's crazy. I don't know if that's the guy who got bribed. So they were supposed to get $1 billion, and he's like, I ain't until you fire that dude. And he's like, I ain't going to fire that guy. Well, you better fire that guy. And or else I can give you your money. He's like, you ain't the dude, you ain't the boss. And he was like, come on, man, watch this. And he fucking made him have, I guess he did it with our money, and they backed down and fucking fell for that shit. But, I guess Biden's son isn't the only one that's like not the most untouchable golden child out here in this politician market. This politician child market. Because apparently Nancy Pelosi's son, I think his name is Paul, goes by the name of Paul. This young man, which she doesn't even speak about, I guess got these fucking more hookups, just like Biden hooked up his son with all these crazy jobs. Like you get all hooked up with all these crazy corporations and shit. You just, with no fucking work history whatsoever, you just walk into these fucking big ass companies and corporations. Well, this guy happens to be not so squeaky clean himself. I guess his business deals are about as clean as Hunter Biden's urine and blood samples. And I guess this dude's tied to crazy ass companies. I guess he's tied to 5 companies. Her son is apparently tied to 5 companies that are under federal investigation for some, I have no idea what. But he's on the payroll with these companies. And 2 of them are some fucking lithium companies. Some lithium mining companies. And then you heard the fucking, funding they just got because they're trying to do this chips and shit. And they fucking the money they send the chip company to all the people on the stock talkers, why would they invest in this company? It's not even the most popular one that makes the chips that we all buy. Because it's probably tied to her son's company that he's getting money from but maybe not be because they got to pay off the feds now because they're inspecting a bunch of companies that employ his ass. So isn't that something? That boy's supposed to, you would think, you know, you would hear about, you know, her cheating husband that was all fucked up. They said he was on drugs and all fucked up and DUI on drunk and on drugs. They said alcohol and drugs. They said a drug. So, you know, you're super white privilege when you say a drug. You're super powerful as fuck when you don't even get to know what the fuck you was on. It's like a drug, you know? And apparently there was a fucking person in the car, but they're not saying there's a person in the car. There was just somebody randomly out in the fucking woods in his cornfields when my man was, you know, whatever he was doing in the car. And they said whatever took him a couple minutes to get out because he had to do something, probably get dressed, probably put his pants up or some shit. And during this court case, they fucking switched this judge to some young person as like their first judge, you know, their first case ever or some shit of this kind of magnitude. And it happens to be tied to their fucking political party. Isn't that convenient? So we ain't even hearing about that on the news because we got to hear about this fucking raid shit. This dude, her son, I guess, you know, she said she don't, you know, he doesn't do this and this and that. And there's all kinds of pictures people were putting up on the news showing him with all these big corporations. And she was on this China and Taiwan deal where a bunch of those corporations he works for is. I wonder if she was using some of our money for some bribe shit. And they were like, well, you ain't the person in charge. And she was like, well, you know, when she does all that weird shit, when she starts talking, you know, nobody's above the law. And she fucking scares the fuck out of people. You know, she got her hands going all wild now. They look like fucking Edward Scissorhands and shit. So like, whenever she talks now, they're all fucking, fingers are just going like minds of their own and shit. It's fucking weird. And it's scary because you don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, they're just throwing kids in jobs that they shouldn't be handling. Like, Hunter couldn't handle the shit. So a man turned to like cracking hookers and shit. One of his jobs is probably fucking like a Russian, you know, pimp for hookers. There's rumors to that. But I ain't saying it. But that's all, you know, it's bananas that all this shit's happening on the news, but they ain't touching that. They're only going to jump on this other stuff to get you all fired up in a different direction. It's like what do you call it? Like sleight of hand. Like I said this before, man. They want you like looking this way. It's like when the ninja disappears with that throwing fucking smoke bomb. They fucking throw the smoke bomb, psh, and then when the fucking smoke bomb freaks you out, like the ninja's gone. And that's what the government does with their slick moves. They're like, oh yeah, here's the FBI raid. Psh, that's the smoke bomb. Biden's lawyers in court defending fucking him, you know, holding our money hostage, and nobody's going to hear about it. And then here comes another smoke bomb. Psh, we're going to switch Pelosi's, Pelosi's fucking lawyer so a man can get scot-free. We ain't going to talk about the side piece. We ain't going to talk about the drug or the alcohol. You just pay your fines and get on. Let's talk about the raid. That is bananas to me. That is just so bananas. And if we ain't listening to them, like, you're the one that's the crazy one. If you don't agree with them, you're the one that's the crazy one. And no matter what it is, like, if it's like, what do we do? What do we do now? Like, what do we do? Because we can't, I don't know, can we do anything? Like, do we go out there and bring it to light? Can we bring it to light? Or would they just, like, black us out and, you know, stop us from doing anything? From trying to reach other people? Because, like, the people that do have the people power just don't really talk too much about it. You know? And like I said, I know why. You know, it's because they fucking don't want to die. Basically, they don't want to get taken out. Mysteriously. You know? Or do we just sit back and trust the science? Like, I mean, that seems to be the go-to move. If you ask me, you got to trust the science. Oh, it was not that fatal. Man, you're talking crazy right now. You need to trust the science. You know? It's hot outside in the summer, man. Yeah, it's called climate change. You're talking crazy. Trust that science. He'd be like, Mom, I don't want to play against him. She's got a penis. And she'd be like, well, now you're just being racist. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. And if you did, I'd appreciate if you would smash that like button, hit me with a subscription, and turn on them notifications. My name is Jaime, and this has been another episode of Meant to Vent. Till next time, humans. See ya.